Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and hope you're lucky enough to be doing it too. I'm Bushka on Blitz, and I'm back today to drive and survive and thrive and indeed stay alive in the AMX 50B, the Tier 10 French heavy tank. It's a hefty mademoiselle, and I do adore it. It may be a little bit larger than your average Paramour, but it is indeed a tank that I can get behind, no pun intended. It's got a whole lot of stuff going for it, and I made this video for two reasons. One of them is I adore the tank, I love driving it, and every once in a while I just make a video because I've been driving that tank a lot, because I still enjoy playing the game. Like, I legitimately enjoy playing the game. All the haters out there who carry on, go hate somewhere else, because I like playing Blitz still. And you can hear, I do streams all the time now, and I've been streaming a lot, so if you want to watch the streams, generally they're going to be on 3 or 4 times a week at about 10 AM Aussie time, which is like 6 PM Eastern Coast time or something. I'll check it out. I'll start posting them on channel as events, and we ought to get together a lot more and talk to each other. In those streams, I quite often get asked to play the T57 Heavy, and I quite often get asked, and this is the second reason, which is better, the 57 Heavy or the AMX 50B. Now, you're not going to see any footage of the 57 Heavy here, because I'm not going to muck around. For me, the AMX 50B is an order of magnitude better than the 57 Heavy. And that might be something that you disagree with. It might be something that you could even make an argument against based on certain stats, because it does have some big glaring weak points. Namely, if you get hit in the side by HE, 150mm and up guns can really do nasty things to you. But there's a lot more to it than that. The fact that the 57 Heavy has a higher damage per minute number is what leads a lot of people to thinking that it is indeed a better tank. It does more damage per minute. And that's a reasonable assumption, because we quantify these tanks by stats. I mean, when we look at who's best in sports, we talk about who has the highest batting average, or who has the most 3-point makes per game, or who scores the most points. And we can quantify that with numbers and say, hey, X is more than B, X is more than Y, so that must be the way it is. But there's so much more to it in Blitz, and thank God there is, because otherwise it'd be a boring, boring game. And the nuance in Blitz is exactly what's important. The 57 Heavy does indeed have a leg up when it comes to damage. But what it doesn't have is the just insanely good mobility of the AMX 50B. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about here. I'm actually just trying to keep this IS-7 in front of me and not get hit from spawn, where I'm pretty sure there is a camping grill. But there he is on the other side of the thing, so my mistake. And that speed is allowing me to get away from this IS-7 and put some distance between us, and then I'll put a shot into him. Now, the T57 Heavy would have reloaded quicker there. That may well be true. But what the 57 Heavy doesn't have is this absolutely pure and amazing ability to get out and run with mediums. That means you can put this tank in a position to do large amounts of damage to the tanks that it has the most dominant advantage over. Namely, medium tanks and more lightly armoured tanks. And you're going to see here, this is great, this is gorgeous, this is absolutely what I'm talking about. I am moving backwards and forwards here. I've got 10 degrees of gun depression, and I have managed to parlay that into 2 clips of love and a whole lot of nasty, angry stuff. Namely, 2 kills and a lot of damage. And I've buggered off all over the place. And here I am again on Falls Creek, and I am sprinting to ACAP, because they have an FV4202, and I feel pretty confident if I can get tete-a-tete with the FV4202, I can put all kinds of hurt on him. And that's exactly what this tank excels at. And it's something that the 57 Heavy quite simply can't do. It can go at 35 kilometers an hour, and that just isn't enough to get the job done. And you can see I've put 1200 damage into that FV4202 very, very quickly, and then I was going to wait. But our 54's gone so deep for no reason that I can fathom. And he's not happy with my performance, but I'm on a full reload. Like, I told him I was reloading, and if he doesn't understand what the tanks do, and that you fire 3 shots, that's all there is to it, then I don't know what else to tell him. He's doing the question marks. It's a question mark day for the T54. Can't help that. Sorry, buddy. And there we go. Mobility is everything for me. If you've watched this channel for any amount of time, you probably realise just how highly I value the ability of any tank to move. Moving wins battles. There are tanks where that's not possible. But if you've got an autoloader, your biggest thing in life is delivering massive and devastating salvos in really quick order and then buggering off. And both the 50B and the 57 will do it in 6.66 seconds from first shot to last shot. They can put out 3 400 Alpha 120mm gun rounds in 6.66 seconds. That's an awful lot of damage. Both have about 250mm a pen. 258 for the T57 Heavy, 250 for the AMX 50B. Where the 50B really kicks ass is 10 degrees of gun depression versus 8 degrees on the 57 Heavy. The 10 degrees is outstanding. It really does help. It's also got a lot better pickup. It's got 1320 horsepower engine versus 891. Now, I don't understand why the 57 Heavy doesn't have that kind of pickup, because it doesn't have a lot of armor, that's for damn sure, and its power to weight ratio is nothing to write home about. It's well behind the 50B in terms of horsepower per ton, and its terrain resistance stats are just about exactly the same as the 50B. So you basically got two tanks that have very, very, very similar terrain resistance stats and weight profiles, and yet, you know, one's got an enormous bugger off jet engine in it and the other one just doesn't. And you can get this thing out to 50 kilometers an hour and you can do some fantastic things with it. HE, there's a 500 round HE shell. There's a 500 round HE shell. And we switched to AP for the last one, and there's a 356 round. That means we've done like 1400 damage to that AMX 50B in one clip. And then we're going to pull black back because I've got mates coming. Mates are coming. He's going to push around on his reload. He runs straight into the 215B183. And I thought that was very, very funny. That tickled my fancy, the poor bugger. You're going to see, this is such a good example, this game, of why I love this tank so much. I mean, we were the first ones there. It was really, really good for our team. We've had an opportunity to put a whole lot of damage in here, and we're going to get another shot in from this clip, and that's 3 full clips again. 3 full shots in the clip. Bang, bang, bang. And we're on a reload. Now, the reload time is longer than the T57 Heavy. There is no getting around that. So you've got to get good at, I mean, that's such a meme, but you've got to get good at working off the rest of your team. Otherwise, you're going to be in situations where your reload just isn't effective. There's 464. There's another 400 because I see he's a one-shot, or was nearly a one-shot. And there's another full clip, and we've got 3 hit points left. And we're using every single skerrick of that mobility to back up and get around and get down before that grill can move up. And he makes the mistake of going for the one shot in the grill, and it doesn't come off. And we get the full reload done in time and say, hello, Dorothy, how do you like them apples? What a tank. What a gorgeous, glorious, beautiful, big, buxom Cinderella. It's a Cinderella story. I really enjoy this tank. Mobility wins games in a way that just pure armor profile doesn't. It's one of the reasons why the IS-7 is so stupidly overpowered, because it has a very, very good top end and a very, very, very good armor profile, which is bloody silly. The AMX 50B can't quite bring that armor profile, but it sure as hell can bring that mobility, better mobility in fact, because it's got much better takeoff and it seems to float right across the ground. And in terms of damage, wow, it can absolutely lay down the smack. I mean, I just want to say something. I forgot to mention this in an earlier vid. Bank CW from DDR clan on NA, he's in a clan with a really good mate of mine, Serb, who's a patron. Iron Serb's wonderful bloke. He has been helping with the stream. So if you're wondering why the streams are looking so much better and why all the bells and whistles are happening, why when people subscribe it pops up in stream, why when they make a donation they go to a little chat box up the top left hand corner and puts them on a list of the most recent donations and everything like that, he's the man. So if you ever want to watch a good World of Tanks Blitz stream, check out Bank's stream on Twitch. I host him on my channel on Twitch, so if you haven't followed me on Twitch, please do. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, and you're on Twitter, I'm at Bushka on Blitz, and I'm also Bushka on Blitz on Facebook. So all those avenues are up and available. Watch Bank, watch my good mate Hubert Jass, watch Straight Up Jack. There's a lot of really good streamers out there, a lot of guys who do a lot of good things, and it's nice to actually be able to stream with all the bits and pieces now that Bank's given me a hand. So anyway, back to the AMX 50B. I've got out here in Cap Day. C, and I've done it really, really quickly. I run engine boost for that reason. You can't run Adrenaline Rush anyway because it's an autoloader. And I'm looking for an opportunity here to put 3 big shots into the nasties. I'm not going to sit still out here. It has 2100 hit points. I mean, you're going to take some damage. But in situations where they've got 1000 hit points, you can afford to walk up, take a shot, and dump 1200 damage into them and clear a tank. And if that costs you 400 damage, do you know how valuable that is? I mean, watch us put the hurt on this grill. 1, 2, and he's gone. And it cost us 1 hit, but we absolutely cleared a tank. And we cleared a tank because we used some of that big heavy tank hit point pool. It's got heavy tank hit points. Use the heavy tank hit points to do heavy tank things. I hate IS-7s. I hate IS-7s. That's 250 millimeters of pen into a pike, and I'm like 5 feet above it, so it's flattened out, and it's at like, I don't know, 70% of its total armor ability. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. It just kills me, absolutely kills me. Onwards and upwards. There's a 57 Heavy. Yep, thanks very much. There's an IS-7. We are in a little bit of stress here, but there's another one into the IS-7 pushing around. There's that autoloader doing exactly what autoloaders do, which is so very, very lovely. We're just killing time while we wait and attempt to actually get the win via the cap points. There's only 3 of us left. There's 4 of them. They're not going to sit there and let it happen, I'm pretty certain. Our 183 strikes a blow for justice and freedom. We're pushing up here. The E100 is a worry, but here we go. 1. And this is what I mean about the ability of this tank to just lay out massive burst. 2. Back it up. Switch to HE. Get one in the top of his turret. 3. And he's cleared. And we did it in like about 8 seconds. Gets us to within 45 points of a win. We push around. We put a rock between us and the E100. He's on a reload. Happy days. We're still on a massive reload. Trying to get past him. Trying to keep him actually where the 183 can hit him, which is exactly what happens. Just get the shot in here. Bang. We've got the win. We're just looking for a little bit of extra gravy, and that's exactly what we're going to get. We could have finished this too. And one more. Oh! Would have been 5 kills. There's the mastery. 4,000 damage. Lots of kills, lots of capping, lots of fun. That's the AMX 50B. Use the hit point pool, use the burst damage, use the mobility, and the lovely, lovely gun. And you too can have a little bit of a... What do they say? That's as good as it gets, that Jack Nicholson movie. Drive me like one of your French girls. I'm Bushka on Blitz. Until next time, look after yourselves. Stay safe on the battlefield. Don't forget, subscribe on Twitch, Bushka on Blitz. Look out for the streams on YouTube. And follow me on Twitter also, at Bushka on Blitz, because when I do go live, I throw out notifications to Twitter, and I think it might even pop on Facebook. Look after yourselves, stay safe on the battlefield, and bye for now.